Welcome to Q Talk. My name is Marvelous Achafu. And today on Q Talk, we'll be discussing mental health, mental disorder, and depression. This is a topic that many NGOs have talked about, many talk shows too. But today we want to give a real, I repeat again, a real talk about this issue. But before we get into the main topic of today, first of all, I would like to say, I beg, those of you watching that have not subscribed, click the subscribe button. Please don't forget to subscribe now, Seth, because most of you watch and you don't subscribe. So please just kindly subscribe. So moving on, we would like to celebrate because May 17 was that's the International Day against homophobia, transphobia, biphobia, and all forms of LGBTQI terms, all the phobia against them. And we would just like to quickly just touch on it, like talk about it. We're celebrating our fellow community members, and we are speaking out against homophobia and transphobia. Like what the theme of this year says, resist, support, and heal. Let me just touch on mine before I talk to the two other guests briefly on their take on it. For me, resisting, supporting, and healing, what I feel it means to me, resisting, number one, I would say resisting, I feel we should resist rather religious bodies, religious institutions that keep on stigmatizing the LGBTQI community because they're one of the biggest preachers of homophobia. They're one of the reasons why homophobia is rampant. They use the Bible as their sword to tell people that they use the Bible to arm people rather and program their minds, and they go about dealing with LGBTQI community members. And we cannot talk about the place of the law too. The law has been outdated. I feel that law is senseless. With all due respect to me, that law should be thrown into the dustbin of history, because I don't see why they would criminalize being queer. Because I don't know, love has no gender to be. And also speaking of what's the word? The family system, family, they disown people, and also just the community at large, the general public, social media too, and all this film, the media generally, the way media paints LGBTQI people, like they need deliverance, they need to be healed, they need to be, their demon needs to be cast out, and also the place of state actors like the police, the military, the way they go about extorting them, blackmailing them, harvesting LGBTQI community members. We should continue to resist and we should continue to stand for LGBTQI members. And that brings me to support. Support is helping our fellow community members, maybe by funding safe houses, by funding LGBTQI community projects, by investing in ourselves. Any project that we see that is LGBTQI related, we should invest in it, we should support it. And finally, healing. Healing for me. Healing is we supporting each other. It's almost the same thing to me. The way we can heal is when we take up just one word for me, showing love. If we believe that my brother, my fellow community member is my brother and is my family, and I will do everything possible. I see your talent, or I see you suffering, or I see you going through something, and you do everything to support the person. That's what healing means to me. So my guest for today is Chimereze Henry and Opeyemi Otinwa. So moving on to you, let me start with you, Chimereze. Either hot, just your take on it quickly before moving to the topic, to our main topic.
For the Idaho, I think you've basically said everything there. We should, resist, support. And the one I want to talk about is our community funding. I always say this. Put your money in your community. Put your money where your money is needed. I know most times we depend on NGOs and other people to come to our aid, but we can only build a community for us by us if we put our money where our money ought to be put in. Because at the end of the whole day, when we have these resources and we have all these facilities, we can then help other people come out from the misery which you're going through. But if we are helping the community that doesn't support us, if you get where I'm coming from, if you're expecting a community that does not regard you to come help you in your time of trouble, then you must be a greatest, I don't want to say idiot, but that's the only word I can say. Mugu.
Yeah, the greatest Mugu.
You must be the greatest Mugu on earth. So you don't expect the church which believe you're a sin, or the government who believe that you're a crime, to come help you. So the most sensible thing at this time is for us to put our money where our money is needed, and which is in our LGBTQ community. That's all I have to say concerning Idaho.
So moving on to your me quickly, just share your thoughts on either hot and everything, just quickly.
All right. We've said practically everything with Chimerisi. So what I would just say is that we need to just to support each other, and let's show them that we can do this. Let's stand for each other. Let's fight for each other. Basically.
So moving on to our topic of today, mental health, mental disorder, and depression is becoming a fast or a growing topic in the community and in the world at large. Millions of people every year are diagnosed with this condition, the condition of mental illness, and many people go for what's the word? Psychotherapy, or is it psychiatry? Psychiatry, that's the main word. Psychiatry, some take drugs, some just different things. That a lot of people are looking for solutions. First of all, let's just go deep into it. I would just like to start with myself. Okay, first, I believe that mental health is overrated. I would continue to say it. I have always said it, and it's something I will always believe in.
Wait. Why do you believe that mental health is overrated?
That's how I'm going to. Let me laugh now. Calm down.
We're having a conversation, so that's why I asked. So tell us why you feel mental health is overrated.
Mental health, for me, I feel it's overrated because I would continue to say it. 90% of what I see causing mental health in the world we live in today, especially the LGBTQI community, can be cured with money. Once there is money, those problems, 90% of them go away. I hear people talk about it every day. Oh, I'm depressed. What's the reason? Why are you depressed? I'm depressed because I can't pay my school fees. I'm depressed because I can't feed well 3 times a day. I'm depressed because I can't buy the things I need. I'm depressed because my mother is sick. I can't foot hospital bills. I'm depressed because my family is over there. They are asking me for money. Or my uncle is in the village asking me for money. I'm depressed because I don't have a job. These are the depressions I see. If you check now, what most people complain about is money. I'm broke because. So I feel like 90% of mental health, what I see now, the mental health complaints is money. It's money. When they tell me I'm depressed, I say, my dear, some people was telling me I need a psychiatrist right now.
Okay, can I just ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
You need money.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Chill now, chill. You know this musician that made this documentary, Dancing with the Devil, Devin Novado. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but this Spanish musician. She has all the money, right? She's a musician, but she has depression. So rich people do have depression too. I don't feel like money is really, really the main thing that causes depression, because anybody could get depressed because of any situation. And social media plays a big role in depression, because like, even though you don't have, everybody has money, but everybody doesn't have the equivalent of everybody's money. If you understand where I'm coming from, we don't all have money at the same level. So when you open social media, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, or Instagram, and you begin to see other people having so much money than you, that is what causes depression too. So it's not that we don't have money, it's just that we don't have money on the same level. And I don't feel money.
We don't have money over here in Nigeria, because I see people that when they complain of this depression, most of the thing is caused by money. Yes, there are cases of there are cases of depression or mental health. You said, sorry, I'm listening. Just like, okay.
I've seen people that are depressed and it's not because of money.
I
didn't say that. If you guys paid attention, I said that 90%. So the people that I have seen that have money that are depressed are those 10%.
Is a lie. Is a lie.
Okay, top 100 rich men. Mention one of them that other come out and say I'm depressed.
And we don't know because they haven't opened to us doesn't mean they have depression or they ain't seen a therapy. They may have the financial. But they may have the financial capacity to see a counselor. That is why their depression is not out there, because they have the resources to manage their depression. But the people we see who the society can say, okay, this person is depressed, is because they don't have the resources to go through the therapy, counseling, and all that society needs them to pay for. So most of the rich people have finances to go through their depression.
That means money cannot get them help. We still commit to the same thing. You said the rich ones, they have the money to get themselves. So are we still coming to the same thing? That money is because of this?
Yes, money is a major cause of depression.
So we are not agreeing on the same here. So I mean, land your point. You wanted to say something. No, let's say we'll cut you short.
The majority of people in Nigeria are depressed because they don't have money. So I would agree to an extent because yes, it's true. You see people that are always lamenting and complain that they don't have money to do that. But you still see some people that are depressed not because of they don't have money. There are other things that happens in Nigeria that make people depressed. Have you seen somebody that was depressed because the person has been cheated over and over again? Have you seen somebody that was depressed because the person failed his exam and he was about to commit suicide? That one doesn't have to do with money. You understand? So in as much as yes, there are people that need money and they get depressed, but there are still some people who are not, it's not the fact that they don't have money that makes them depressed. It's other things, other issues of
experiences in life.
The reason why I'm saying this is that I've seen so many people's depression stories. And I know of a particular one that happened. Was it 2019 or so? I don't want to mention his name. I would not like to
go on, tell us the story. What happened?
So the story was that this person will come and complain. Oh my God, I'm so indebted. I'm so this. My life, I'm almost running low. I'm almost like this. And people will be like, hey, yeah, sorry, take heart. Don't worry. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's clinical at the end of this thing. People were just commenting, trying to counsel him. And finally, this guy took his life. When he took his life, the same people will now come, oh my God, this guy didn't maximize his potential. RIP to him. And when he was saying it, nobody believed him. And when he was doing this, people will now start giving all sorts of pity message. When some people are there, that they have the opportunity to step in, it might not be to able to provide it. It might not be the guy to give the guy money. It might be to give the guy a job. You might be in a position whereby you can say, this guy says that he's only, okay, fine. You know what I will do? I will give you a job for the first month.
You see, that's why our mentality about depression has to change, because like when the guy was saying it, maybe people felt, okay, this is something he could have gotten money from his family. And because most people, I don't want to put you in the box, or you are in the box, you that overlook depression because of money will be like, okay, he should get this money from somewhere, he should look for, or most people will be like, oh, let him go and work and get money is because he's lazy. So because we overlook some depression and we begin to put them in.
Overlook that too.
Okay. Let us say society overlooks some. So society overlooks some depression and begin to classify those depression and call this one important and this one less important. That is where we need to understand that everybody is going through certain levels in their life, and if we don't understand what they are going through, at least we can just shut up our mouth, or we can try to understand what they are going through and help them. And that is what happened in the case of this young man who took his life. And that is the hypocrisy for me in Nigeria, because we all overlook depression because of so many reasons.
So, Obayemi, what would be your own take on that? Because let me establish. My own point is that before people start to misquote me or say, my point is that, see, depression happens. Depression is real. Mental health too is real. Mental disorder is real. We know that one. But that's why I say that there are some things that can just be cured. There are many times. That was even, I know last 2 weeks, when Chimerize knew about it, or was it last 2 weeks? I can't remember. It was really a very, very bad time. Even till now, it still affects me. It was not as bad as then. It's still bad now. Because I say that, I just thought about it. I almost wanted to say this QU talk should end because there was no money, no funding, nothing. Thank God for just a few friends that already around and supported me. And imagine if I just said, I want to end it, I want to end QU talk, I want to even end my life. People will come and say, hey, yeah, and the guy was doing so well, and was speaking for the community, and he had so much potential. But nobody was willing to invest in my potential. Nobody was willing to support me in my potential. Nobody, it's not even about giving.
Not saying nobody was willing to support you. There were people who supported you, who people also also appreciate. Because I know
people supported.
Yeah, I know sometimes we go through this depression stage where we feel nobody helps us, but there have been people who have been there for us.
There are people who have been there. See, so no matter how, somebody will always be there now. You get my point, as in,
yes, I get your point.
Community do not come around and support this. we see this person who are in a bigger position now. People who have supported themselves are people that they have their own challenges. If you go and check their challenges, me and you will know now. So people who supported now, we know people that supported a little.
We know people who
that they have
supported.
bigger challenges. Even they have problem with funding. Don't you have problem with funding?
We
There are
do
many things
have
that they want to
problems.
use. There are people that they are comfortable, that they have seen my show, one or two episodes. They have the money to sponsor. Let's not even use my show, so people don't feel like I'm using my point. Let me just use myself, so people understand what I'm trying to say. There are other people too that are like that. They are trying to make a living, and because they feel like I'm not getting there, I'm not seeing any results, nothing is even coming forth, and they just feel because let me just end my life. Nothing is working for me. I'm a failure. That's one of the biggest way where depression comes in and mental illness.
All right.
Yeah, Opeyemi speak. Let me let Opeyemi speak.
All right. So when you say somebody is depressed, you need to know actually what you're talking about.
Okay.
If something, the fact that you are weak and you feel like you're just weak and that things are not working, but does not actually mean depressed. You can be sad. That doesn't mean you are depressed. Depression is when somebody enters a state that person feels like he's worthless, feels like there is no chance for him again to, like he has no achievement. So we are talking about most times it's always hard for those kind of people to even come out. And I would say that in Nigeria, people don't really take mental health serious. That's true. Because whenever they feel like, I'm depressed, right? They don't understand that you can be sad, be necessarily not be depressed, but this person is depressed. So we need to, when people come out and say they are depressed, we need to understand and try to show love and care for the person physically.
The thing is, like Opeyemi was saying, see, depression has stages, and especially in Nigeria where we don't take depression seriously because everybody feel, okay, I am depressed, I am going through my own challenges, and they feel that themselves are depressed, and they forget that they are just having an emotional change. So there is an emotional change, like Opeyemi said, and there is depression. And the issue in Nigeria, and the issue even anywhere, is that society has this stigma. When you say you're depressed, people just feel automatically you are insane. Depression is not insanity. Depression is just a state where, you find yourself worthless. But the true question here is, how do we get to this point where we begin to look at ourselves as being worthless? It's because of what society begins to push. Society tells you at 25, you're supposed to have graduated from school. At 30, you're supposed to be married. At 35, you're supposed to have a house and all this bling, bling, blings, Versace and all those things. These are the things that bring depression. So I feel one thing we need to talk about is how to heal from depression. So like I said before, you need to make your own rules. For me, I was going through a time of depression, and I would say in 2019, I was still in Canada. I had finished school. I was looking for jobs everywhere, but I couldn't get like a good job. So I had to do some menial jobs. Then my visa expired. Then I began to know who were my friends and who were not my friends. And then everybody began to show me their true colors. And that was a very, very dark time in my life in 2019. September, October, November, December. Those days were very, very dark in my life. And I didn't even have money to pay for rent. I was staying in a boys' quarter. Everybody left that boys' quarter because the landlord had issues and wanted everybody out. And that was a point in my life. I'm like, I felt very worthless. The only thing I owned was a bed and my cameras. And I began to evaluate myself and look at other people's prosperity and began to say, okay, why don't I have this same result they have? But one thing I got to realize is that first and foremost, where they started from is not where I started from. Secondly, they may be the only children. I don't know what their family background is. It's not the same thing in my own family background. So I began to look at the little wins I had before and began to look at where I am, and I began to appreciate and have gratitude for where I am, and I began to look for a future that is better. So I feel we should understand that no matter what you are going through, because we can talk about depression, but I want to say no matter what you're going through, look at where you have been from. Look at where you are now. And even though things ain't looking rosy as it ought to be, you're going to get to where you want to be. Sorry.
Okay. Are you done?
Yes, I'm done. Sorry, I had a call coming in.
Okay, no problem. That works for me. So let's just move on now to, I think there's one thing that you said that I was going to ask a question on it, but I think you've addressed it. So I will just touch on it and elaborate it a little. One thing that makes it that there was a point you raised that, people don't believe in mental illness over in Nigeria. It's because people use this mental health issue as a weakness. And I love the story that you shared. I didn't use it as a weakness. Use it as your strength. Use it to evaluate yourself and to bring yourself out of it and to become a better person. But over here in Nigeria, people use it as a weakness. Some people tell you, mental health, I'm facing mental health challenge. That's why I can't focus. Some will even tell you that, it's my zodiac sign. The reason why I'm angry is because I'm a Scorpio or I'm a Libra. I don't know. People have turned mental health into a joke and turn it into something that is like glamorous, and people just overuse it. And it's almost, that's why I said, I'm listening.
I want to say from what you said. If you listen what I said before, those people may not necessarily be, they might be sad, because when you are depressed, like, you don't understand what it is to be depressed. You hardly interact with people. Like, what that you hardly interact with people. Even when you see people that even wants to help you, you are like, you feel like you just kill yourself, basically. You understand? So for those people that are always that sad and maybe they are not necessarily.
Would you call poor social skills depression?
No. We will not call poor social skill depression.
I know that's what I'm not getting.
Because the thing is that the person used to be socially, and this is where we start looking at signs of depression, okay? The person used to be socially active. The person used to be, self-confidence. The person used to have self-confidence. The person used to be outspoken. But all of a sudden, you begin to notice this person has self-low esteem. This person is no longer, socializing with people anymore. And another thing that is a key that people don't even look at, the person stopped taking shower. The person stopped keeping their hair or keeping neat, personal hygiene. Those are the signs of depression that people overlook.
Okay. I will not like. Let me not.
No, the thing. Why I'm saying this is because I have spoken to a lot of people who have gone through depression, and I myself have gone through depression. And I noticed that some days you don't even want to wake up, you don't even want to do nothing, because you just feel, okay, I've been doing all these things, no results, so why should I even proceed? But your ability to stand up from your bed, take your shower, and even do the little things you could do is what makes you stronger, even in the midst of depression. So I feel for those who are watching this, who will be watching this show, and who are going through a time of depression in your life, the one thing I want you to get from it is that everybody get depressed and everybody can come out of depression if you have the mindset that you want to come out. That is the truth.
I love that. So I think now we're not getting to the real talk, because I wanted the real talk to happen, not those. So it's enough of that 90%. Now, I've talked about the 90%. That money
for 42 minutes.
Or 90%. So let's now move in now. No, not for 42 minutes. No, some things that we did were extra. As if 42 minutes, don't worry. Let's now talk about the main 10% now. Just in taking this home, let's now quickly just talk about it. The 10%. One thing that affects this community is what's the gender identity crisis. It's a list. I don't know, it's now a big form of depression. So people wake up today and they will say, no, I feel like I want to be trans. I'm a woman in a man's body. Some wake up tomorrow and say, no, I want to be a top. Some wake up tomorrow, I want to be a bottom. Some wake up and say, I'm asexual. Some wake up say,
Can I just add something though? I know this will not sound nice. I know most people will not agree with this, but I know we always say, the way you feel is who you are. I'm not on that notion, the way you feel is who you are. I'm on the notion of what is in between your leg and what you are attracted to is who you are. And that is the truth, because if we all go by the way you feel is who you are, and one day, you wake up, you feel like a woman, the next day you feel like a man, then I kind of feel there is something going on with you, if you understand. So in the next future, maybe an old man who is 99 years will not come and walk up to me and say, I feel 18. And a child who is 10 years will not come up to me and say, I feel 35. We're going to have crisis in that if we go by the way we feel. But the reality is that there are certain things that determine our gender identity. And I think the way we feel or feelings are not one of them. It is attraction and gender. Gender, you know what I mean? Organs.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, Papa, would you like to say something quickly before I move on to the next point?
So I feel that those people are maybe that still trying to find out more about themselves. I don't feel that.
Have you not had it before? Whether I wake up today, I say I'm a top, I'm a bottom, or you just wake up today and say I want to change my name from Opeyemi to maybe Linda or Priscilla. Say I'm tired of Opeyemi.
It's a stage that people go through, so they are still trying to identify themselves and know which one they have. So I think they should just let them get to that part. They should let the
But some people say it's a disorder. There's actually a word for it, like gender identity disorder.
Like I will not say it's a disorder. It's not a disorder. It's just
it's under a disorder too. There's a kind they put it under a gender identity disorder under mental health. So that's what I'm saying. That is it a disorder? Because some people actually see it as a disorder, and they can meet somebody that it makes them look as if does this one has mental issues. Like they can just be with somebody. Some can even wake up on the bed. They can sleep over at your place, have sex, and the next morning they're like, no, and maybe you brought him and he's a top and saying he's a man, and the next one is like, oh, I'm a female.
And not just gender disorder. What about those in our community that wake up one morning, finish sleeping with you, and tell you, oh, I'm straight? So I kind of believe we all have a form of disorder. Like Cynthia once says, everybody is mad in different ways. You just choose the one you can cope with. So we are all, we all have our level of madness. But at the end of the whole day, if that's what works for you, that's what works for you, honey. You don't need to explain yourself to anybody. But when it comes to me, I feel like, don't get me confused. I want to know if you're a boy or a girl or if you're gender non-conforming. At least it's better I know you're gender non-conforming. But the issue with me, or the issue I find is, you walk to a place, you know somebody that's a boy, and then you see the person's like, hello, I know you, and you're like, oh no, I don't know no female friends, right? And it then confuses me. But like, if you make it straight out with your friends and make it straight out with people that this is who you identify with, we should not have no issue. I feel if people want to be addressed like that, respect them and address them the way they want to be addressed.
That's crucial. That's cool. So, just in wrapping this up now, your final take on this mental. Let's talk about recovery and also some of the things that we didn't mention. I would just like to touch about just quickly.
I think we should start with Opeyemi because I've said a lot.
Okay.
All right. So quickly.
Basically, I feel that depression is real, and there are people that go through depression. We should try as much as possible to be able to identify. It starts with you when you have friends and you know that, okay, this is how my friends behave. And when they start to behave in some kind of way, ask them what's wrong. It also has to do with care and love, showing people around you love and care, letting them know that you care about them. And when you see someone that is depressed, you don't need to start, you don't need to distance yourself from the person because it even affects the person more. And for those that are depressed, I feel like basically you are the only one that can leave that state because it all depends on you. You can have the counselor will do his or her job, but it still depends on you when you decide that, okay, I think I'm done in this place. I think I'm done. I need to, stand up and prove to myself that I can do this and I have the capacity to do this. So you should cheer up, be happy, do things that make you happy. That's very, very important because now we see so many things online and they are capable of making one depressed or feel sad. So you should do things that make you happy. Go after your own happiness. Go after you being happy. Do things that makes you excited. If it's watching movie, you should watch movie. If it's listening to music, if it's anything, it is sports. Do it and make yourself happy, basically.
So, Chimeze, moving on to your final take, recovery, how we can be better, how we can make this topic. We can keep on going and going, but this topic
is broad and long.
Yeah, broad and long. Because there are some other things I was supposed to talk about, but I said no, that one is for that day. We'll make it.
We cannot do a justice to mental health. I know there's a lot of people who are saying you didn't say something. Say yeah, we know we didn't say all those things you want us to say. But one thing I want to
HIV is a big issue too, because a lot of people that get HIV, they become depressed. They just keep drinking. keep sleeping around. They don't get, it's a big
Depression can come from anything. Depression, you can just even sit down and just be depressed for no reason. You begin to ask yourself, why am I, having this feeling? So one thing I want to say is that depression is not hereditary. It can happen to anyone. So it's not like your father was depressed, then you can have it. No, it's not selective. So anybody could be depressed. So we should understand that no matter who is going through depression, if we don't understand what that person is being depressed about, or if we've gone through that situation, we should know that our words are very powerful tools to a depressed person. So we should try to make sure that the words we speak around that person is positive. I don't know how to tell you this. Just make sure that your inner circle, if you're going through depression, make sure your inner circle is a positive circle. Don't put yourself in a circle of people who, one, do not understand you, two, who speak negative about you. Don't fill your soul with negative stuff. When I was going through my own depression, the one thing that helped me is instrumental and positive motivational words. I listen to them a lot. I listen to motivational speakers. I try to do some motivational tasks to encourage myself. The third thing I do is I speak to myself. I know this may sound crazy, but I'll go to the mirror and I'll say, you're stronger, you're bigger, you overcome, you will get better. So I have this conversation or this soliloquy with myself, soliloquizing with myself, and we begin to talk about, where do we want to go to? What are the possible ways of getting out from the situation we are? Because in every form of depression, it is caused by a problem. So when you look at the problems you're going through, you begin to look at the possible solutions to help you come out from that problem. And I want you to also know that your mindset is a big thing in overcoming depression. If you always say to yourself, I can never come out of this, I will die in this, my dear, if you have said it, who can change it?
So me, finally, the Mega McCain of the show, I will still say it again and 100 times. Depression is overrated. The mental disorder too is overrated to me. It happens, it is real, it is in the community, but 95% of them can be eradicated by money. People pick some little things that we call are little. Once we help, it can go. I'm calling on the NGOs, the community. If I don't want to call on NGOs, I've called on NGOs, I'm tired. Let's call on community members to support each other. If there's somebody, it's not about providing money. Let's write money off. But if you can help the person fish or get ways to get money to cure that problem, it could be his mother. It could be the father that might be sick. The mother might be sick. The father might be sick. He might have house.
But what about in a situation where money can't deal with somebody, you're trying to help, you bring money, you take the person to the hospital.
I will get there.
I want to ask you a question though. Chill. Let me ask you a question. And the person's mother dies. How do you then, help that person overcome depression caused by grief?
How you have that person overcome depression caused by grief is by being there for that person, taking the person out.
So you see, money, communicating, sticking out.
See, Chimereze, let me use myself as an example. Let me share this final story.
Okay.
Till tomorrow, I still look at it and I still sometimes cry because I knew that if there was money, my mom would still be alive. It's a fact. Some people that were close to me, my friends knew this. If there was money, my mom would still be alive, kicking and well. It was lack of money to pay for hospital bills and to continue funding because it was heart problem, one of the most expensive things to do. A heart transplant was even an impossible option because you didn't have the money. So to keep on maintaining the heart, and the drugs were fucking expensive. As of then, not now. Sorry for using the F word, but they were expensive. And the drugs, like every day you have to buy drugs at least worth 5,000, 5K. So calculate it. And this was for Nigeria, where the economy is bad. So I knew that there was money to keep up with this thing. She would have been alive, but there was no money. So then I would still feel, no matter how you try to make me overlook the grief, I would still feel like, if there was money, this person would still be alive now. That's the same thing for many people too. So it's different from the case whereby they know how he spent money. And old age come now, or the sickness just came and took the person. Unlike when money could have cured this thing. And that's the case of many things that make people depressed. That was one of the most depressing situations of my life. Because I knew when my mom was gone, that was it. No more parents again. Me and my dad, we don't talk so much. So there was no more parenting. The bond between parent bond has gone. It's just me, myself, and YouTube and watching other shows for me to get parenting tips, but I knew I couldn't get it from, it was my mom that gave parenting. So at the same time, I'm saying that there are other people that go through different, maybe their business collapsed and they couldn't pay for maybe they were paying for the upkeep of their mother and they couldn't pay again, and maybe their house rent or something, and they are being disgraced and the landlord is shouting at them, or their education. Some have to put their education on hold. And NGOs are not even sponsoring people's education in Nigeria yet. It's to be looking for reactive. This is something that people can look into. Community members who don't come together and sponsor, and that's one thing I love about the Igbo people. They come together and sponsor people, sponsor their education.
Yes,
sponsor
we are there.
Community members who don't do it, we don't sponsor each other. If somebody, this person has this talent, you would even want the person to even struggle more. Even try to even pull that person down, block the person's way.
Just to cut you, in case you want to hear about all those topics, we've talked about it in the Black History Month in our series on YouTube.
Yeah, it's true that we talked about it on the Black History Month. So I'm just trying to recap and just.
I'm just saying so that those who are watching can go back
and watch it. So, but just in rounding this up, so we don't take too much time, because so we can make this in an hour. I know at least we talked and made it an hour part of show. Community members should look out for each other. We should help each other. That's of the 90% one. If you know you're in a institution to help people, there's some people that are struggling. Please, one thing I also like to say again, because person there abroad, no mean say get money. I beg.
We ain't plugging the money, please. We ain't plugging the dollars. We don't have like a dollar to where we go and be plugging and be giving. Everybody will call me.
What I saw is his responsibility too. Even myself, I look at my dear, my guy, they try you. They are making the money, but they are also the responsibility. They are spending it. Family as well. There are some people in Nigeria that have more money than community members abroad. We know you guys. I can mention names. Keep on mentioning names. You have mansions in Nigeria. You have cars in Nigeria. Your business, you guys deal in Bitcoin. You deal in cryptocurrency. And now the same Bitcoin where you know we spend for our show. Now in the crash, so now in the crash, 94.
Just to add to it, the thing is that we as a team at Q Real Talks, we've looked into all these things, and we are planning on having a public funding. So if you ever want to reach out to help anybody, you could know us as being legit, and we are going to be transparent with all the transactions we get to help people. But we should also put it in mind that we cannot help everybody. But we are going to start a GoFundMe. So please, if you are abroad and you want to help, just reach out to us at qrealtalknigeria@gmail.com, right? That's the email.
qrealtalkng@gmail.com. So that will be all. Don't worry. We as the 10%. Let me just touch on this quickly. Because they said one of the biggest form of depression is HIV. When community members get HIV, that one, I don't know, that one should be a topic for another day, but I really feel like it has to be looked into, because I know like 3 people who have committed suicide when they told them their results. Another thing again is rejection from family. I don't know how we do about that. We need to start building family support, community member support for ourselves. But anyway, don't worry, this topic, we'll treat it very well in season 3 again, and bring in psychologists and probably make it shorter, and just touch on the points and everything with our psychologists. But this is just we as community members saying our own part. And that has been our offering on Q Talk for this episode. Please, I will still say it again, hit the subscribe button. Please support us. At least this, so you don't need money yet. Just support us, it's free. Click on the subscribe button, share and like our videos and comment, and just stay tuned, because the next episode is going to be hot. And we have something coming for you guys.
Sorry, Marvelous has gone. He's frozen, and that is the end. And this is our offering. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.